my door, I realize there's so much more than this emptiness that I feel inside. Lord, I need you now. Lord, I need you now. It's real, yeah. There's so much I want to say to you. I just don't know. I don't know how. You died to save me. You set me free. Lord, I need you.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Real Talk. It's been a while since we've been on your screens, but we are back in full mood. You know, the president just lifted some of the restrictive measures, and so I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that everything has gone back to normal. But trust me, we still need to be careful. We still need to be protecting ourselves. We should wear our face masks. We should wash our hands with soap and the running water. We should keep a distance away. And when you are sick, please stay at home. We are all just trying to make sure we live during this pandemic and come out successful. So like I mentioned, another exciting edition of Real Talk, a very, very interesting story. I have already seen some of your comments on Facebook and I can't wait to start reading them. Like we do, you bring us your story, you send it to us to our WhatsApp number or email address, and then we come your way with amazing panelists who help us discuss this story. So today we've done the same. You know, for a while now, because of trying to make sure that everything, we are also trying to live according to the rules of the president with regards to social distancing. We bring two people to the studio and then we have some guests join us from home virtually. So today we have amazing panelists in the studio and amazing panelists joining us from home via Zoom. So in the studio, I have with me the only counselor, the counselor that graces my show once every 20 years. Maybe. Coming up. Welcome to the show once again.
Thank you very much.
How have you? Yes, a while. It's a very long while. So I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm also excited to come.
How have you been?
We've been managing. The pandemic has, taken us aback, and we're trying to manage and cope and to see how well we can also fit in, because every situation comes and then you have to adapt to it.
Right.
And then map yourself up to be okay. So that's what we've been doing.
But with your job, I'm thinking that you're getting a lot more people coming to you and talking to you, because
there are a lot of
people are anxious, people are wondering what's going to happen.
Very well. And then besides, I'm also a social worker.
Right.
So we encounter a lot of people bringing their problems and then trying to have solutions to whatever is happening, even with businesses which have collapsed. Government has set an amount to give to COVID relief fund, just something like that. And then people applied, they come to our offices to apply for that. So we are also trying to help businesses which have gone down. And then it's a good thing. It will revive, and then this will be over soon, so we shouldn't be scared of whatever is going on.
Right. Esther Jedu, this is your first time coming to Real Talk.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
You're ready for the show? This show, the real conversation, so you have to say whatever you want to say. How have you been?
Oh, I've been good, I think.
And business? I know you're doing your own thing and trying to.
Yeah.
You say you're an entrepreneur. No, Pamela, don't.
So we're all trying to make the best out of the situation. No one was prepared for what is happening. So we are just trying to make the best out of what is happening.
Right. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
So as I mentioned, I have 3 people joining me virtually from home. I have all the way from Takrady, all the way from Sunyani, and all the way from the USA, Ohio, Columbus. And Pastor, I don't know if you can hear me, Pastor Michael Kojo Edumako. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you, my dear. Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Welcome to Real Talk once again.
Thank you.
I am sure you guys are having more difficulties being in the USA. The pandemic hits really hard. Your numbers are all up there. How is the church doing? How are you guys faring during this very difficult moment?
Thank you for asking. The church is doing great. But right now we are still at home. We don't want to go, even though the conference has given us the green light to go to church. But we know the Ghanaians here say no. This will maybe until next year or so, thereabout. But the numbers keep on increasing because those people here, they are very, very, very stubborn. I know my right, I know my right, I know my right, and it keep on going out. Yeah, pray for us, yeah.
We will definitely pray for you. We will definitely pray for you. So I have coming all the way from Takrady, I have Solomon Apple from the Prince Emmanuel SDA Church in Takrady. Solomon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. I would ask you the same question. How are you managing?
You are looking good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would have to thank my makeup artist, Chris and Brown. Thank you so much for making me look like this. So, Solomon, I was asking, how are you managing during this whole pandemic?
Well, I think my church resumed a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Everything has been cool, but we weren't even expecting a number of people who came for the very first Sabbath and the subsequent Sabbath. But everything has been good. It's been smooth for us.
We thank God.
Just that we don't get to worship for longer hours, but it's been good.
Yeah. But just on Sunday, I think the president told us we can do that for 2 hours now. So now we have an extra hour to worship. Princess Owusupoku, all the way from Sunyani, Agate SDA Church. Princess, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, please. I can hear you.
Please, how are you and welcome to the show?
Oh, I'm very fine, thank you. And please, how are you too?
I'm fine, thank you. I would ask you again how you're managing and everything.
Oh, at our church, we've not started service yet, but we have our virtual meetings in the mornings. On Saturday mornings, we have our Sabbath school service, and it has been very effective, very, very effective. And then we have our Zoom meetings too. Then we are hoping that by the end of the beginning of this month, we will start service. So on Sunday, we are going to set up the place and prepare the church so that we can start our church service very soon. Okay. But so far, we've been using the virtual platforms and it has been very, very effective.
Yes, that's amazing to hear. So you guys, I just introduced you to my panelists who would have to take a look at our story. I'll do so right after this break. Do not go anywhere. This is RealTalk. We'll be right back. And my name still remains Evie. Dear RealTalk, I really need your help. I have a new boss now, and I have known no peace since he was transferred to my department. My boss calls me into his office under the guise of a meeting, hurriedly locks his door immediately I enter, then forcibly have sex with me, mostly without protection. I have protested several times, but he pays me no attention. I am a married woman, and I am very afraid to tell my husband. You see, my husband lost his job over a year ago, and I can't afford to lose this job. Please help me. Welcome back from that quick break. You heard our story. I told you it will be an interesting one. Guys, dun 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 dun, drum roll. Okay, let me start with you. What is your general take on the story? What is going on here?
It's integrity principle, which has been abused. We all have our basic principles, and then we just don't have to succumb to just anything, or because we find ourselves in a situation we have to define or redefine sin. My take on is what really is happening here. as somebody who really knows what is right, but then is not doing it because the person has given a reason that work is not good, so I just have to bend my principles. You know, as humans, we have integrity and we have principles. The moment you bend them, your human aspect is reduced.
Right.
You understand? So that is when you become a non-entity, because everything goes. You just go by everything, but you just have to have a specific principle that I won't do this, even for this I won't do. You understand?
Right.
So that you preserve your integrity. And then one beautiful thing is, the more you preserve your integrity, you will be respected for what you've done. Sometimes we just have to stand on our feet and then not be swayed by what the circumstance presents. We all have weaknesses, but you just don't have to expose your weakness and then continue in your weakness, because if the more you lie a lie, it becomes a truth for you. The more you lie about something, it becomes a truth for you. So if you keep on lying like that and you never change from it, eventually when you are lying that same lie at a point, you feel so comfortable about it.
Right.
So it becomes a truth for you.
Right.
So we just don't have to bend our principles. I don't know if I should really go in, but the lady in contention here has a first encounter, and that is the point where she could have said no. Just as Daniel's, who was it, Joseph?
Joseph.
Yes, Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph did same. Joseph said straight no. Joseph could have said, oh, because I am coming from here and then I want something from here and my people are back there, so let me eat. You know, he saw what was going on and then didn't do it.
Right.
So the first instant, and there is a case there, there's something called rape. Because if you read a story...
I'll take your point on that. I can see you're really passionate about this story.
I am.
I can see.
I'm very.
Esther?
Well, I think there's a situation of someone who is confused and scared. And from what she's saying, if you carefully read the story, she's actually struggling with this whole thing.
Right.
It's not something that she's happy about or something that she intentionally wants to happen. But then she doesn't know how to go about it. She feels entangled.
Entangled.
She feels entangled. And then she probably, I'm looking at the environment, right? Probably she's not in a conducive place where she can confide in anyone or seek refuge. And then at the same time, she's concerned about going to her husband, or, you know, if she goes to confess what she's actually feeling, whether she'll be blamed for it. So she's a victim here, and at the same time, she's feeling that maybe people outside will feel she's the, you know, the culprit.
Right.
So she's just confused, scared, and doesn't know what to do.
Okay, Esther thinks she's confused, scared, and just not know what to do. Pastor, I'll come to you. What is your take on the story? What came to mind when you read the story?
Thank you. I'd say, first of all, the story, according to what I read, for me, it's not clear to me because I don't know the background of the lady. Is a Christian or non-Christian? That's one part. And the incident happened more than once, from what I read from the narratives.
Yeah.
So here, I think I can put the blame also on the lady too. So when it gets to the detail, I can also bring my point, because I saw it more than once. It didn't happen once. It happened twice or beyond. So for me, I won't blame the boss in total. Maybe I have to blame the lady as well too.
Okay, Pastor, I guess your take. Princess, do you agree with anyone so far?
I think that after reading the story, I think the lady is finding herself in a very difficult situation, because I cannot put myself in her shoes, and it's difficult for her because she said that because of financial difficulties, she's afraid to lose her job. And then the husband too is not working. So she's just between choosing family or job, because in the end, the fear of not having money at the end of the month is there. And then at the same time, she's afraid of losing the husband too. And she's afraid of how the husband will see her. And what is very serious, I saw it very serious, is the fact that she's thinking of suicide.
Right.
Is very, very serious.
Right.
So I really feel for the lady.
Okay.
When I read the story, I felt for the lady.
All right.
Because we ladies, we face such problems sometimes at job. Yes, I feel for her.
Yeah. Princess is feeling for the lady. Solomon, are you feeling for the lady or you're feeling for the boss?
You see, when I read the story, I just pictured it this way. A lot of people will say, because the lady has done it several times, she's wrong. But I just saw myself, mostly when I'm driving to Accra, a lot of times I'm stopped by the police for overspeeding, and I pay. I always do it. I pay. And I don't see, but when I tell people, they don't see it to be a wrong thing. But then yet, we are all saying the lady, but most of us are saying the lady did the wrong thing. You see, she was just being human. She was just being human. And by being human, all these priorities come into play. We can look at this someone who is contemplating suicide. She's just if it wasn't a big deal for her, she wouldn't have even thought of suicide. So it's a very big deal for her. That's why she's contemplating suicide. Right. So in fact, I can feel for the lady. I don't think anyone would want to be in such a position. Okay. Maybe the boss has exhibited some stuff that has made her believe that she could be fired. And knowing how difficult things are in the home. You know, ladies sometimes feel for kids, for their family and all, knowing how things are difficult in the home financially. Probably some of these things compel her. I feel for the lady, and I believe as we discuss on, I can really pour out my feelings and thoughts.
Okay, Solomon. But let's look at some of the issues in the story. This is obviously a very difficult boss that she is having an encounter with, and he is new to the department. So it's almost like you are at work and some evil human being has come to just disturb your flow. How to deal with difficult bosses? What, Esther, I would pick your take. How could she have gone about this?
Well, difficult bosses. We've all had instances where you face maybe be a superior. It doesn't really have to be your boss, but you meet somebody and the person is so difficult, like, and you can't do anything about it. You have to work with the person. Right. But one thing I have learned is to stand your ground. Okay. That is one way I deal with people, not to be disrespectful, but then to stand your ground. You know what you are supposed to do, what is beyond what is expected of you to do. So in that normal context, not pertaining to this situation, but then in a normal situation, when you come into contact with a difficult boss, then first of all, know what is expected of you. When the person is asking of too much, you state the rules. This is what this organization expects me to do. So you stick to that. You get it? It's not so easy as done as I'm saying, right. But then if you don't stand it, they keep making you do things. And by the time you know, you'll be given too much of yourself.
You keep crossing the line.
And then you may even lose yourself. And then they will now turn against you, using that weakness that you've lost yourself, and then it become an issue. But then if you don't compromise on your grounds, especially the organizational principles, and then you stand your ground, you'll be able to put them in their place. Everybody knows their place. The boss should know their place. I'm an employee, I should know my place. You don't cross boundaries. Right. Yeah, so right. I think that's how to deal with them.
I would say HR roles in the office, difficult bosses. What is your take on that? Because a lot of people go through these things and they go like, well, when I say it in the office, there's nothing that can be done about it. I'll even find myself in more trouble if I should go and report. Are these things working in our office where HR, they have their role, you go and report, things are sorted out? What is your take? Okay,
so let me start from here. There's somebody in the Bible called Esther. Okay, so what happened was the time came when Esther had to perform a task. And then his uncle told her that this is the time God called you. This is why God called you to marry the king as at that time. You understand? So you make a difference. We are called to make difference. And when a situation like this is presented to you, you have to be the game changer.
Okay.
You were called into a room for the first time, and what happened was something against your will. First of all, straight ahead, you make a case out of that. You just don't sit down for it to happen on the second time and it to happen again.
She said she had no evidence, and the day she
What is
decided
evidence?
to take...
Evidence with rape is a rape. I know of people who were raped for about 10 years, and when they went to report afterwards, Cosby, his case, you know about it. It happened over like 15 years ago,
right.
But he's in cells now because somebody reported. Where is the evidence?
Right.
You understand? We just don't have to hide it because we think we want too much of an evidence. It happens in the first place, you report it, and it's a wife, somebody's wife, for God's sake. You just don't have to use your bossiness to take advantage. And note, she wouldn't be the first culprit.
If he's comfortable doing that, then
in
means
the office.
That, it's something he's been doing.
He isn't the first culprit.
Right.
There are people who are there. So she has been called at that time to also bring that boss to book. But she also gave up. And then, he would have his way around these people like that.
Right.
But you know how to deal with difficult bosses. You should have your principles, and you should know what you're about. You are called into an office for the first time, and the second time it's even locked.
Yeah.
You go again, and then you don't even inform your colleagues to join you. Are you enjoying it? Do you like it? I don't want to blame anybody too much, especially with the lady. But this man is evil. He has this tendency of breaking marriages. And then when you go to the altar, they said anybody who puts this marriage asunder. What should happen to the person? Like God punish you, like something like that. He is asundering people's relationships. And it's a bad thing. He should be called to book.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So bosses who are difficult, I used to have one. I work with an NGO, and then she has her principles. You understand? If it is 1 + 2, she does it 1 + 2. You have no right to do it 2 + 1.
Okay. Or 1 + 1 + 1.
Or 1 + 1 + 1. You have to do it her way. So anytime you don't do it her way, she will complain. You understand? You have to know what is right for you, and then what is wrong for you. You just don't have to succumb to anything because you think you have come here to take salary. Yeah. You are working, and you are there to promote the environment or the way you are. So whatever comes and is not in agreement with you, express it.
Right.
But in a polite way.
In a polite way.
Yes.
Pastor, I'll take your view on difficult bosses, roles human resource management play in offices, and how people can get their grievances addressed.
Well, thank you. It depends on the size of the company. It's a medium one, a big one. You might have HR services there. If it's a private one, a small one, maybe you might not. But sometimes, as a human being, you have to eye-opener to look for red flags around. Red flags, they are abundant everywhere in a workplace. For example, in this narrative, this story you are talking about, if I were the lady, you have to look for the red flag, the way your boss was talking to you, sending you emails, giving you maybe compliments. That's a red flag over there. Right there, had red flags. So in a big companies, where first of all, if something happens, talk to your boss politely. Please, I don't want that. Period. I don't want that, period. Set your, the benchmarks or your rules or your boundaries. Let me give you an example. When I was doing my MBA, it's a lady in my class, it's a white lady. She came to a class, she said, oh, you look cute. He said, Mike, stop it, I don't want it. If I continue, I can go to jail. Here the law works. unlike maybe Ghana or Africa. Here, if you say, I don't like it, please stop it. It's a mic. I don't like it. How to stop it? But over there, because it's a boss, so in a nutshell, if you're a lady or man, you're working in a company, make sure you take your eyes solely on the red flags. The way he talks to you, will be tapping you, give you compliments, gifts, please, wide awake. Before you know it, you commit the crime. So when you talk to the boss and there's no response, right away, report to HR. Don't delay, don't delay. So let me end here because we are going to say more. But if you are working in a company, medium size or whatever size, please make sure you are looking for every red flag that might come your way. Compliments, touching, emails, gifts, please. Men don't give our things for free. Take it. Man, we don't give our things for free. You get it and you pay for it later on. Thank you.
Yes, so Pastor says, look for the red flags and there is no free lunch from any man. Princess, do you agree?
Yeah.
And your take on, the discussion so far?
Okay. I think that the lady, first of all, I would like to say that not all ladies have that courage to report when incidents like this happen because of the fear. So sometimes what I think she should have done is that as soon as it started, she should have reported. But I'm also thinking she didn't have the courage to do so.
True.
And you can confide in a colleague and tell the colleague about what is going on. Because she said falsely, the man you see, the men are stronger than ladies. So it's true, he forced himself on you. But continuously, it seems like you are enjoying it. That's what someone will say.
Right.
So I think that at the beginning, she should have reported the case. It's true, it's not too late. It's still not too late to report to the HR. And when you look at the duties of the responsibilities of HR for the office, you will see that the HR is also responsible for the safety and health of the employers and employees. So as HR, you should ensure that the place is safe for people now going through some mental illness.
Right.
Because thinking of suicide is very, very serious.
Yeah.
She's going through some so mentally she's not healthy.
Right.
She may be healthy physically. So as HR's responsibilities of the HR to ensure the safety of the employers and the employees, because this lady doesn't feel safe at work anymore, and she is afraid to lose the job.
Right.
So what I think she should do is set the man up.
Okay.
You know,
so Princess, I'll take that point when I get to what she should do. So please do not forget your point. I'll come back to you on that. So Solomon, I'd like to ask, what's your take on with regards to difficult bosses and the roles human resource management play in an organization?
Okay, but just like Pastor said, in America the laws work. In Ghana,
some of the laws work.
Some of our laws do work. Until you found yourself in that position, you wouldn't know the laws work until you've been told you're going in for 10 years for touching someone inappropriately.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true. But you see, in handling some difficult bosses, sometimes it has to be prayers, solely prayers, because for all you know, I'm telling you, for all you know, when you meet some difficult bosses, but even when you report to the HR will be fired.
We're scared to lose our jobs.
You are talking about bosses here in Ghana. So my take is this: if the lady is ready to handle this case face on, then you can probably look at other means of taking the boss on. But in handling difficult bosses, sometimes it has to do with tact, being tactful. And in being tactful too, you have to pray for wisdom, because from the story, she doesn't even have any evidence. You go to the HR and she asks for evidence. You don't have any evidence. So you have to be tactful and in probably with the HRs in Ghana too, or in most companies. If it's a big company, organized company, then we can say the HR would work. But if not for the case, then it has to do with prayers. I'll just advise the lady to pray.
To be praying, right? Okay, Solomon, the lady should pray, as Solomon just said. We have to go for a quick break. When I come back, I'll read some of your comments and we'll look at if she should tell her husband and what she can do about her depression, obviously, and her suicidal thoughts. We'll be right back after this break. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
The junior scientists from the eastern region of Ghana were great, weren't they? Well, voting is still open. Go to www.wegoinnovate.org right now and vote for your favorite experiment. You can vote as many times as you like. It's free. And now, this week on the GH for STEM Juniors Challenge, we are in the Upper East region of Ghana, where some junior scientists have some incredible experiments to show. And you will decide which of these 3 experiments should go to the next stage of the challenge by voting at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you like. It's free. Now showing on Hope Channel Ghana. This and every Thursday at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Catch the repeat on Sundays at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Don't forget to vote for your favorite experiment at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you like. It's free. And follow at We Go Innovate on all social media platforms.
The Hope Channel, since its inception in the past 2 years, has been so much a blessing, not only to the Seventh-day Adventist church members, but to the whole people of Ghana. And you may be to say, "Yapomodin chire, ye nyamesum hon chire, ye fie tenamun chire, ye jumayemu, and ye mabun hon chire hodo." And Chebia Hope TV ebedi nimfie emienu. Na the Omaye Nina no Abusiafo, Omudisika na aye. Ye beba for there at the Pia Hope TV. Anunti, Michelle phone in crime. Mama a brand swan. A for Bob Breno a babono. Bosumi watching day in kind. 1st August. Said the Baya, almost so and Church Papa Omodia Boyeno, or no bit me at Twasswaye. Enti Boa Honanus Memoameho, a brand swan. Yibribina mini bribi, name from Hope TV Ghana. Na yemfam pia onyankopon adwuma no awurade nhyira so obaye ne sa maranatha.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
Welcome back from that quick break. I'd like to take a few of your comments, then we go straight into the discussion. This one is from Chris Nuts in Dede. It says, "Be a prayerful lady. You said it all. You could have protected yourself, but why? Your man has lost his job. Don't make a mistake not to satisfy your husband on bed. I say pray, pray, and pray. One morning, be bold and approach your boss that your conscience tells you if he doesn't stop that affair with you, you will commit suicide because you are not sincere with your partner. Weep bitterly before him. I hope if you do it from a pertinent point of view, God will deliver you from his hands victoriously. God be with you." So Shadrach, as Arediako says, I don't think this lady is telling us the truth. I don't think the man forcibly had sex with her. She would have screamed in the act for help. I think she willingly did that act with him, but she is full of guilt now. That's why she's saying he forcibly had sex with her in order to avoid the shame associated with the act. Ikuya Yeboah says, "To be free, you need to be ready for anything that comes. Inform one of your co-workers when he calls for a meeting. Immediately you enter and he closes. They can knock on the door. Don't be going through this because you want to secure your job. When you die, someone else will take your place." Sorry. Let your husband know about it. In any way, he will understand so that it won't cause problems. Ibn Zayn said, "It's sad to have found yourself under this abusive and harassing situation. Personally, I will advise that you disclose the situation to your husband for his intervention. But on the issue that you have full trust and confidence in him to tactfully and sensitively help you out, as opposed to he going about spreading it to the public and finally opting for a divorce. Again, look out for the most trusted and secretive co-worker and disclose it to them and connive with them to subtly bring the man to the limelight. By this, you will have witnesses to attest to your reportage on the incidents. May God help you out. Remember, suicide is not the best option to end it all. Jacqueline says, what is more important, your marriage, your reputation, or money in your pockets? Get down on your knees and start praying, asking God to save you and open up other areas in your way to walk away. The God we know today is the God that saves always and forever. Sorry, but I think you're liking it too much. Why don't you just report him? So many comments coming. I'm trying to read as many as I can. Let me see. So there is this one. Okay. This one says, marriage, Martin Edu says, marriage is sacred, therefore she should seek spiritual help and professional help too. Please keep your comments coming in. I'll try to read as many of them as I can as the discussion progresses. Okay, so our counselor, I'd ask, she's depressed. She's having suicidal thoughts. Should she tell her husband? What is going on here?
Okay, so the husband has every right to know whatever is going on in her wife's life. Besides, the husband is the #1 depressed person now.
Yeah.
He is already out of job.
Right.
Okay. You understand?
Yeah. And he feels his wife is withdrawing. According to the story,
he also feels his wife is withdrawing.
Yeah.
So he's super depressed.
Okay. More than the woman?
For now. So should she tell her husband about whatever is going on, what is happening, and why she's acting that way towards? Yes, the husband has to know. But she being the one to tell the husband alone with him would be the problem.
Okay.
You know, in cases like this, first of all, let me shift a bit. I'll come back to where I was going. In Christianity, the only avenue for divorce, which, you know, if you like, you can even forgive, is cheating.
Right.
If you like, you can just overlook it. So it's a very, in law, maybe somebody will say, this is a nice case for divorce if you really want to break up with your wife. But these are two lovers and they really love themselves. So she should find somebody, confess and confide in the person, a trustworthy person, somebody the husband also respects. So they approach this case tactically, because the least of provocations, the husband wouldn't take it lightly with the wife.
Right.
Have we asked why he even lost his job? Did he stand his grounds not to succumb to sexual harassment? That is why he lost his job, or what? He has lost his job because of a decision maybe he took, or maybe a company sacked him, or however. He has his principles and he's in the house now. I'm not sure he's going to bend for anything. So he should find somebody who is trustworthy, go and then apologize and talk to the husband about this, and pray. Prayer is also good.
Yeah.
So as they pray, and the husband, with the love maybe he has for the wife, can forgive. You know, I wish he forgives the wife, but that's a decision for him to make. But then I think she shouldn't do it alone with the husband.
Right.
Even if she does it, she should know how to approach it, because it is very grievous for your wife to come and tell you, I have had an affair with my boss more than 3 times. I feel guilty.
I want to kill myself. That part. She says she wants to kill herself.
Yes.
That she feels like leaving this world will end the whole problem.
You know, there's something there. You know, sometimes when people feel so guilty of the actions they do, they would want people to, maybe people will fight with me after I finish with this. They would want you to feel sympathy for them.
Oh.
No, I would come back. I'm just looking at another side of it.
Okay. Because that's manipulating.
Yes, they can manipulate you to, have sympathy for them because they did something wrong. Just yesterday, I was watching a clip and the child was crying, "Mommy, forgive me. Mommy, I won't do it again. Mommy, if you beat me, I will die." You see how manipulative this kid is trying to, lure her mother not to.
Right.
Maybe the thoughts of suicide is to manipulate, but we can't just let it go like that.
Right.
It could also be true because passing through something like this is depressing, and it's this.
The shame.
Yeah, the shame and you remember the non-entity part. Now her whole integrity is gone. Her principles are gone. She doesn't have anything to hold on to.
Right.
So, she would think of this to end it. So she wouldn't be disgraced. She wouldn't find herself in that disgraceful manner to even let her husband know about this. But we plead on her. This is not a spoiled case at all. Something wrong happened. And an evil came into her life. Sin is allowed. But to repent, to reconsider that what you did was wrong is the best thing. And she has taken the first step. It's a good thing. She's even speaking about it.
Right.
Now she's regretted. So that's the first step she is taking. So she should just know that life doesn't end there. Even if there's a breakup, she should understand that that is the path. And she should make a difference from that time going.
Right.
She's not lost it.
Right.
Maybe she's going to even get a very good job after losing this one. Or she's even going to be promoted because she has been able to report an evil boss.
Right.
She will be saved.
Right. Esther?
Well, I think for me, the husband is already depressed, so he's not already in his right state of mind. I think before she decides to talk to her husband, she needs to seek professional help. Now, we have a lot of hospitals where they have counseling sections, psychiatrists and all that. She should seek their help. Then,
like one sitting here.
Yeah.
I don't charge those.
Well, that's very nice of you.
So she should seek their help to help her process what she's going through, and then how she'll be able to go to her husband. The psychologist will be able to advise her how to do that, because probably the way she'll go to her husband and maybe his reaction because he's depressed might even cause her to commit suicide. You get it? So before we push her, you have to tell your husband, we have to make sure that the husband is in the right state of mind and she herself, she's prepared, for whatever may come.
Yeah.
That is one. And if genuinely whatever is happening, she's a victim, then she should see herself as a victim. Something bad is being done to her, and stop seeing herself as a culprit. Because we have a lot of instances where people go through rape and then they freeze at the incident. So you may say, why didn't she scream? Probably she froze. You get it? And then they feel caged every time that incident is happening, especially if it's with the same person. So probably every time she gets there, she freezes. We don't know what exactly goes on in that room. So we can't just sit back and then say that and because she's not doing anything about it, probably she's freezing or however her reaction is, she comes back and then she feels like it's her fault.
I should have done something.
But she can't do it.
Right.
So she feels like, okay, the only way out is just to die. Let me just kill myself and die. So maybe she's going through that phase. Maybe she's going through a whole lot. You remember this movie, Addiction? The lady had gone through...
you watch Addiction?
The lady had been abused when she was a kid. And because of that, she was going through that whole instance. Until she was able to see a psychiatrist, they were able to delve back into her past and get her out of that situation. She continued to go through all those things. Probably she also has something like that. So I advise that she sees as a professional for them to actually delve what exactly is going on with her, how she should go about it before she goes to talk to her husband, because he himself is not in his right frames of mind to process everything very well.
Okay, Pastor, do you think she should tell her husband? And how can we help her with her suicidal thoughts? And basically, what should she do?
Okay, thank you. I think it depends. Is he a Christian or not a Christian? So he has two faces. if she's a Christian, is it known to everybody in the workplace or just between herself and the boss? Well, let me start from the suicidal thoughts. Just last week, somebody called me, Pastor, a lady want to commit suicide. What did he say? He said from her Facebook post. They sent me the screenshot. I went to her house without delay. I knocked the door, no response. Right away, I called police. Less than 2 minutes, they were there. Said, this is what I've seen from Facebook. They opened the door, she was not there. That's their work for now. So everything was moving from myself to the police, which I did. If somebody wants to commit suicide, sometimes in Africa say it's nothing, he's pulling her legs. Before you know it, she's dead. So if somebody close by can maybe advise her or go closer to her, that's another point. Here in America, I just called the police and they took over. And I'm here praying now. So here is very easy, though they're going to give her maybe a counselor or whatever, or social worker. That's fine here. But in the second way, if that person is a Christian and the sin is not known in public, this is my personal advice. If a Christian, he should pray to God. Not to rush and inform the husband. I'm a minister. I've told my wife over and over again that if she commits such a sin, please don't come and tell me. Even I'm an ordained minister, I cannot stand that shock. So this is my personal advice. So if that lady is a Christian and she knows her husband very well, if my husband can endure or not, it's up to her. For me, I don't know the husband. But for me personally, I've told my wife, to not happy, but in case something happens, please don't tell me. Tell God, and God forgive you. Don't tell me. I cannot have the shock to absorb it. So it depends. If a Christian, different advice. If not a Christian, different advice.
Right. Pastor, thank you so much for your take on that. Princess, I would ask you, should she tell her husband, what should she do about these suicidal thoughts? Basically, what would you advise her to do?
Okay, I kind of agree with what Pastor said.
Okay.
The situation must be analyzed if she's a Christian or not. If she's a Christian, I would advise that she prays about it well before informing the husband. And then, obviously, before she got married, you see, Ghana in our settings, we don't do a lot of psychology, going to see a psychology and stuff. In outside world, yes, it's done. But she should find someone she trusts. I would say maybe the pastor who counseled their marriage. Right. Because if you tell family members, it may be biased. So if you tell a neutral person, but you trust the person, the pastor will help you to in the counseling. Then you tell him together, I know for sure that he will help you. A good man of God will help you to bring the news to your husband in a way that is not going to cause a lot of havoc. But if she's also not a Christian, and then the advice is that, yes, talk to somebody you trust. Because suicidal issues are very, very important. Yeah. And we should take it very seriously. Because depression can kill. Yep. Mental illness can kill. Yep. It kills more than physical illness. So I would advise, if she's a Christian, she should pray about it a lot. Because God is going to help her. And then she should confide in somebody. If she's not a Christian, she should find someone she trusts and tell, because she has to talk to somebody. If you don't have anyone to talk to, that's the problem. Right. You can die. Right. Sometimes you can just take anything and kill yourself. Talk to somebody. You need to, because what is happening to you is very, very serious and very delicate. And it should be someone you trust. Not because if you don't take care, you tell someone you don't trust, by the time you realize the situation is out of hand. Right. So my advice for her is that she should talk to somebody, whether she be a Christian or not, and should stop about killing herself. It's not a solution. Because that man who is doing, if you kill yourself, the next person that comes is going to do it to the next woman. So you should stand out and make a difference. Right. And the difference is you trying to solve the problem. My advice as well is to set her up, as I was saying earlier. You've talked to a colleague you can trust. As our brother said earlier, you may not be the first person he's doing this to. He may have done it to other women. So talk to somebody you can trust and set him up.
No.
And then use the evidence and show it. Because if you talk with evidence, I think you have a case.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I think she should do.
Okay, that's what Princess thinks. Solomon, what do you think she should do? She should tell her husband. What should she do about her suicidal thoughts? Please advise this young woman.
Okay, but I agree with Princess and Pastor on the score that she should not tell the husband. Now, this is why I agree. You see, when Abraham was was asked to go and sacrifice the son, Isaac, if Abraham had told Sarah, I'm sure Sarah would have resisted.
That's not.
But we don't know that for sure, do we? Okay, but looking at how Sarah suffered to get Abraham, well, we can all assume that she would freak out.
She would have resisted.
You better
or she wouldn't.
Yeah, Solomon. Yeah, I'm listening.
So, from that angle, I believe that, but you don't always bring out the truth. You know, even with the Bible, even with God, in Daniel, he says, "Shut the truth." The truth was not okay for the people at that time. So sometimes you don't have to go out telling everything. You would have to assess the situation. In this case, going out to tell your husband might even end the marriage that you're trying to preserve. So I believe that on that score, she shouldn't tell the husband, at least not yet. She should, if she would even tell the husband, just like Pastor said, you assess the situation and wait for the right time. But then left to me, private sins must be dealt with privately. In this case, she is the victim. She is not the one who initiated the whole thing. But I'm taking it on the face value, on the value of the story, that she didn't initiate it. She was raped, and because she was raped, and the husband might not get it well, she shouldn't tell him. Now, with a suicide case, I would say she should seek for help. She should seek for help, and it should come from a professional. Mostly, most Christians tend to go to their pastors. Most pastors are not professionals. Most pastors are not professional counselors. She should get someone who is a professional and get help. And I would also say that she should pray a lot. Okay. If you feel that if you have it in you that the Lord has forgiven you, if you've erred and the Lord has forgiven you, it helps you in dealing with the situation better. But then if you feel guilty, if you feel you've not been forgiven, then dealing with the situation becomes a bit difficult.
Okay. Thank you so much for
Can I say something here?
Yes, I will take just two comments and then we would have to close. And this one is from Sami. Sami said, sadly, it happens a lot. She should not just be concerned about losing the financial implication, but her health and infections too, if this keeps going on. And Daniel says, is this rape? My first thought is this is a very consented act by two adults. I may be wrong though, but it does look like rape to me. It looks more like the lady is just it doesn't look like rape to me. It looks more like the lady is just feeling guilty for cheating on her husband with her boss. The tone of the letter suggests that this affair has been going on for a while now. How can you say whenever I enter his office, he locks the door and forces me to have sex with him, and you keep going to the office? No, it doesn't sound right. Forgive me, but I think it's only the first time that may be described as rape. But to go again and again, no way. The lady just enjoys having sex with her boss. How? She must come clean. Okay, Daniel, we hear you. This one says, you can't keep going into the same situation you are not comfortable with. And from what she's saying, he may not be the owner of the company. And therefore, there are people she can report him to easily. Even if he is the owner, she can still report to the police. This one is from Angela. I would like to say thank you guys so much.
I have to greet my mom.
Okay, so Pastor, I hear that you want to say some last words before we go. Please.
Yeah, we are talking about evidence. Here in America, it's a big-time business here. If somebody rape you and you want to press charges in the future for money or whatever, keep something as evidence. You know what happened to Clinton? Monica Lewinsky kept her underpants for years.
And the green
because he had in mind that in the future I'm going to press charges against the president, and he did it. More than 10 years or 15 years, he kept her underpants. So if you want to press charges, ladies or men, you can keep your underpants. I'm talking about, say there's no evidence.
Right.
Then keep it safe, because we are talking about pressing charges. If you are not a Christian, you can do that. If you're a Christian, you can also do that, because from me, what I read the narratives, I'm not sure that a lady can tell the husband, for example, if you want to go out and say everything, my dear, I want to talk to you with my pastor. Last week, my boss had sex with me. First time, second time, third time, fourth time. What do you mean? What are you talking? This is not rape. This is agreement. So for me, please, I want to read something from Proverbs 3 verse 5. If you're a Christian, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, trust in the Lord. If you're a Christian, you are serving a mighty God. God will never going to disgrace us, either job or without job.
Amen.
He's God. But if you're not a Christian and you want to press charges, I'm not giving you maybe bad advice, but you can keep something for future or the evidence if you want to press charges. But if you don't want to press charges, keep it to yourself. Don't tell your husband, your wife yet. If you do that, at the stretch, maybe it might end your marriage.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not good to do that, but a Christian or non-Christian, please don't rush to do that. Pray to God and give the strength and the right time to do that. Thank you.
Okay, Pastor, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an amazing discussion. It's been amazing having you. Please say hi to all the members of Prince of Peace SDA Church in Ohio for us.
I will.
And
We miss you guys. We miss you too.
Please stay safe. Please stay safe and protect yourself. And when they open the borders, you just come and visit us one day and be in the studio with us one of these days.
I will. God willing, I will.
Is there anybody in Ghana you'd like to say hi to? Anybody at all in Ghana you'd like to say?
Yeah, yes. I want to say hi to my mom in Mankranso and my siblings.
Okay.
And I want to say hi to my friend, my best friend, PMI Jane Ota for SDA Church.
Okay.
And also my former conference workers, Central Ghana Conference, my president and the rest of them. Thank you so much for this privilege.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you. We really appreciate your time and your words of wisdom. Princess.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making the time to join us today. It's been such an interesting conversation. And I would also ask that anybody in Sunyani that you want to say hi to, the Agape SDA Church, please.
Thank you for having me too. As you said, I want to say hello to all my church members, Agape church members, and I'm very grateful. I also want to say hi to my parents, and I want to say hi to all my friends. It's been nice being on the show.
Thank you.
So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Solomon, all the way from Takoradi. Whenever I have any Takoradi guests on the show, I like to practice my fanti. So maybe I'll do that. So Solomon. Me pacho. Tadi for no. One epede eka hi chen. You dey ka fanti na dey bro fa. Into one epede eka hi chen. One ebe say hi a chen.
Orokodo. Tadi for Daddy for Mecca High, but the first one goes to my wife. She's celebrating her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
Then I would say hi to MOV, Men of Value.
that's my boys, my brothers and my friends, men of value. Then, but to my church members and all the time,
Orokodo. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Esther, you to Orokodo, who do you want to say hi to?
I'd like to say hi to all my family members, the Jedu family, and my friends, and my workers, and everybody that's watching. Hi.
Okay, hi. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's really, really great having you on the show. And hopefully I get to see you very soon.
Sure.
Yes. Counselor.
Yes, dear.
The only counselor. Please tell your mother hi before you come in.
Okay, so before I say hi to my mother, I'll say it is not a mistake to make a mistake.
Okay.
But it is a mistake to repeat a mistake.
Ooh. It is not a mistake.
Think about it.
To make a mistake.
Yes.
But it is a mistake to repeat
a mistake.
Okay.
Think about it.
I'm thinking.
Good. So my mother celebrated her birthday, I think, on the 27th.
Oh, yes. Same as my sister.
Oh.
And my sister celebrated their birthday yesterday.
Madam Hannah Akuoku.
Yeah.
Akusia Hannah.
Okay.
And then my niece is also watching. She's just a young lady, nice, beautiful lady. She's Nana Esi. I know Nana Esi is watching from Takrade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I told a lot of people I was coming to your studio, so they should watch me. And I know they are watching. Please, if you are watching, hi.
Hi. But I would like to ask you to leave your number out there for anybody who wants to reach out to you, talk to you.
Okay. So my number starts with 0543 84 5151. Give me a call. We can talk about anything.
Give him a call. Yes. He's available. And he says it's free of charge. So do not worry about any form of payment. Thank you guys so much for yet another interesting episode of Real Talk. I would also like to wish my sisters, actually they're twins, they celebrated their birthdays yesterday. A very happy birthday to Isabel and Isabella. You guys have been amazing in my life. And I would also like to wish Aram, today is your birthday. I'm wishing you a happy birthday and hope you guys had a blast. So I'll come your way same time next week with another interesting epic story like we always do it. Thank you once again, Chris and Brown, for my amazing makeup. And I'll see you same time next week with another interesting story. Good night.